Pat Stogran is the former Veterans Ombudsman and retired Canadian Forces Colonel, and he joins us now from Ottawa. Sir, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thanks for having me.
So how far does today's announcement go in addressing concerns that you've heard during your time as Veterans Ombudsman?
Well, let me put it to you this way. You know, at the press conference this morning, Minister McKay made the point emphatically that the government has a duty to look after those people who have served this country and their families, when next week his very senior bureaucrats are going to appear in the BC Supreme Court and argue just the opposite, that the government has no moral or legal responsibility to care for veterans. So suffice to say that my opinion hasn't changed from anybody else who's commented on this. This is just a gross political grandstanding effort on the eve of the Auditor General's report next week.
But it is still $200 million over 6 years. It's going towards mental health issues. Do you see any good points in there as well?
This is also coming on the heels of the revelation that $1.1 billion has been turned back to the central coffer since 2006. And it's also on the heels of a revelation within the Department of National Defense that they have been ineffective in hiring the psychiatric professionals that they are mandated to provide to their personnel. So, you know, these are all empty promises. All at the end of the day, all this is providing is those three ministers who had the gall to stand up there. These are the people from the Conservative Party with the long pants, because Parm Gill is back here holding the home front. They have the gall to stand up there and say that that $200 million will actually benefit veterans.
What would you have liked to have heard them say or announce?
Well, you know, I don't listen to their rhetoric at all anymore. The time has come where we must have, if not a full royal commission to discuss exactly how the government will be treating the policy going forward in the future, certainly a public inquiry to demonstrate to Canadians, to reveal to Canadians how rotten, how terribly dysfunctional, and I will say malfeasant and malevolent Veteran Affairs Canada is. And when Canadians see this, I'm very sure that they're going to insist that all of government cleans up its act.
So if we could bring it back, though, to the mental health issues that, you know, everybody has been talking about with regards to the military, are there any recommendations that you would make to strengthen mental health support for our military?
Oh gosh, Christine, you know, there are volumes of recommendations that have been made through the Special Needs Advisory Group, through the new Veterans Charter Advisory Group. There are stacks of them. And then, of course, the latest superficial efforts of the Veterans Ombudsman. It's all there, you know, and just all you have to do is track the Canadian Forces. They have this universality of service policy where if you're not fit to deploy, you're thrown out of the military. And, you know, they haven't repealed that. They haven't reconsidered it. And they're exempt the duty to accommodate that normal employers have when a person is injured in the workplace. So if you just watch that area to see any substantive change, I'm quite confident that's not going to happen. And regarding this $200 million, it's like the $1.1 billion before. The check is in the mail.
I want to thank you very much for your time and your insight, Pat. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much for your interest.